I'm not a superwoman, I cannot feel the ground beneath me. I cannot tide the war within my eyes, I cannot breathe. Cannot talk, let me explain what I mean to the figure I'm looking at in the mirror. You don't recognize me again. 'Cause I know it's hard to count on me. So please tell me I am worthy to love again, to love again. I sit down and try to see everything that lays in front of me, but the words spill out, I'm stuck without a black and white paperback instructing me on how to be. I need someone to tell me how to breathe, how to see the potential that lies within me. 'Cause I know it's hard to count on me. So please tell me I am worthy to love again, to love again. Oh, love me, love me, love me, love me, love me, love me again. Oh, love me, love me, love me, love me again. 'Cause I know it's hard to count on me. So please tell me I am worthy. And I know it's hard to count on me. So please tell me I am worthy.
Welcome to Live from the Space at 100th Taylor with one of the greatest imports from New Jersey, new to Nashville, Sahara Moon. Sahara, hi.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me.
That was absolutely incredible.
Thank you very much.
And it's so early in the morning, and I was thinking about your vocal prowess. Is there like a time where like you were like more confident in your vocals? I feel like that was incredible. It's early here when we're shooting this.
Yeah.
Are you like better at night?
I feel like overall I am better at night, like in the evening, with the overall like presentation of my songs and my voice. It's definitely warmed up by that time, but I do like waking up pretty early and going for a walk and getting my head right and pretty much sitting down to practice.
Yeah.
And most of the time in that practice session, a song comes about. And it could be like something random that doesn't really turn into a song, but then other times I've like written like a whole full song.
Yeah.
So my voice is pretty awake, to be honest, in the early morning hours.
Yeah.
I feel like that's when my mind is like most awake as well. So it pairs nicely.
Yeah. You've been doing this pretty much your whole life.
Pretty much,
but
yeah.
practice, you know, you mentioned practice. Like
Yeah.
you still gotta practice every day, even like when you're like
Yes.
at a high level like you are, right? Like you can't just like not practice.
Yeah, I feel practice is definitely a very important thing. It's one of those things that you just have to do it, because when you're getting on stage and you're in like a whole performance environment where there's a lot going on, like you don't have time to like double second guess yourself or like, you know, like second guess what you're doing and like, oh,
Right.
like did I rehearse this song enough? Like,
Right.
do I know this well enough? Like
Right.
sometimes there's been times when I first like started performing my own music, there was definitely times, it was on the sidewalk, like to passerby on the street. Like it was fun at that time, but I would definitely like showcase some new songs, and I wouldn't really practice those. And I would just kind of like create the song on the spot, which is kind of like fun aspect to that. But
good talent to have, for sure.
yeah, I mean, definitely for like full-on performances, the practice has to be there. Like the time has to be put in, and so you're just at ease like when you go into that performance.
Yeah.
And your mind's in the right place, and you can kind of focus your energy on like, okay, I got this.
Yeah.
Now, let me put on the show. You know?
I love that. But what amazes me about you, Sahara, I mean, there's many things that amaze me about you, but like one of them is just like, you know, your drive. Like I don't want to just say your drive. I just want to say like your discipline, your focus. Like, how do you do it? Like when you are having a shitty day.
Yeah.
Like when you're just not feeling it. And I know you're one of the hardest working musicians in Nashville, which is incredible, and that's why you're making a name for yourself and everyone loves you. A lot of it has to do with hard work.
Right.
How do you push through it, like in the days where like it sucks, when you don't want to get out of bed?
Yeah, there's definitely been a lot of days like that for me, more recently than I would like to admit. But
why is that?
I think just the adjustment of moving here, like the whole relocating process has been a little bit strenuous for me, like, and in multiple different ways, like being apart from my home with like family, like that's been a stress, but
like you've missed your family.
Yeah, just miss everybody.
Sure.
But Nashville offers like a lot of different like things and experiences, and so it's good in the bad at the same time.
Right.
But like when it comes to pushing through these days where I'm kind of feeling down on myself, or I'm like, oh, like, am I making the right decision here? Like, whatever the case is, I kind of allow myself to feel that way. Like, I kind of give myself the space to be like, okay, like, today, you know, like, I'm gonna give myself the space to, like, feel a little bit down.
Right.
And usually when I do that, I find a way to integrate something else creatively that kind of opens up my mind and allows like positive energy to roll back through, which then fuels like.
So in other words,
music.
you know that it's like temporary.
Yeah.
Like, and that's huge.
Yes.
Like that this too shall pass.
I mean,
love
most
that.
times, yeah.
I know, totally. I mean, you took a big leap coming here. I mean, in New Jersey, where you're from.
Yeah.
What's the town where you're from in New Jersey?
From Tuckerton, New Jersey.
Tuckerton, New Jersey.
It's near like a big beach town.
No,
called
totally.
Long Beach
And I think like my audience needs to know that like you're pretty much a fucking New Jersey star. Like you're a badass. I mean, you've been featured in like, you know, top 10 New Jersey artists you gotta know. You know, you've done songwriter sessions there.
Yep.
So, you know, you're coming to Nashville, and you're like kind of like once again making a name for yourself.
Right.
So, you know, talk to us a little bit about that adjustment. You know, being like a big fish in a small pond, and now, you know, being here in Nashville.
It has been fun. It's been a really good experience coming from where I came from, because I was like playing the tri-state region definitely for like at least 5 years. Like I was playing that whole circuit, New York City, Philly, New Jersey,
Maryland, all that,
you know. So coming to Nashville, it was shocking at first because, you know, there's people from all over, and they're all different caliber of music and musicianship and all of that stuff. So it was a bit challenging because it's kind of like, okay, well, how do I refocus like my energies and like figure out where I fit into all of this? Because I had all this stuff going on at home, and now everything kind of like shifted because I moved out here. So it's been a matter of like, okay, like what do I like? And it's kind of been like a whole rediscovery of like me. Like my artistry and all of that. But it's been really great to meet so many different people and be inspired. And all of that kind of just keeps fueling like the drive to keep going forward.
Well, I think totally like doing the right thing. Obviously, I mean,
Thank you.
you're super talented, and you know, the city, everyone that's left a mark here, who's come from smaller
Yeah.
towns,
Yeah.
icons, legends,
Right.
have all been through that. Like they come here a little insecure, like, oh my God, everyone is so good, but then they grow, they get inspired, and then
Yeah.
Sahara Moon, like you are already, you don't realize it because you're too close to the trees, but I can tell you from afar that everyone is like, that girl.
Yeah.
Sahara Moon is
Thank
kicking
you.
butt in Nashville, so it's great. So glad you're here. But yeah, I mean, you had it. You had this formula. I mean, you've played with some big acts. You've opened for Blackberry Smoke.
Yeah.
You've played with Stephen Kellogg.
Yep.
Bunch of big names, and I'm forgetting a bunch. But tell us a little bit about just like what you've learned. You have such a great life history of playing with big acts.
Yeah, it wasn't always like that, to be honest. When I first started music, a lot of it stemmed from my sister, inspiring me to really even get into performance.
Because your sister is an artist as well.
Yeah, Zinnia Moon. She's incredible. She inspired me really to get into music. My parents signed me up for an open mic back in 2016, which was the first time I ever performed for in front of an audience,
Wow.
people. And
Is it because they like felt you could sing and you enjoyed it?
yeah, I mean, my mom and dad like live for music.
Yeah.
At that point, I was writing like my own music, but I didn't disclose that part of myself to anybody, like at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it wasn't always, like me getting up on stage, like opening up for these guys, like, it's been a journey, for
Yeah.
sure. Like I was playing outside of an art gallery that I used to work at, Firefly Gallery.
Yeah.
And there would be cars passing by, honking their horns, but that's like where I started.
Yeah.
And the journey has been really incredible because I've gone from there all the way, like each milestone. Like I've done Rockwood Music Hall in New York City, played that multiple times. Like I've opened up for Stephen Kellogg.
Yeah.
Like all these small milestones that increasingly keep growing.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful for the journey that it has been.
Yeah.
And opening up for some of these larger acts more recently, I would say 2019, I did my show with Stephen Kellogg. And then the pandemic happened and everything. But
Yeah.
since then, I've opened up for Blackberry Smoke, the Robert Cray Band, Atlanta Rhythm Section, at the Keswick Theater, the Marshall Tucker Band, like all these
Yeah.
really crazy.
And they love you too.
Yeah.
Like
I got to go up on stage
if you
with
see,
them.
Yeah, like if you see their socials, they're like, "We love this girl." Look
It was-
yeah, it was so great.
That
yeah.
was one of the highlights. Like, that was incredible.
Yeah.
But I really fell in love with the idea of like being backstage with these people and the community that you build
Yeah.
and the network and everything and just the people that you meet. It's really cool to be able to be a part of that in a way of putting on shows for people to enjoy.
Yeah.
And, I'm really grateful for the opportunities to
No,
be
I
sharing
mean,
the stage with such incredible
But you're
musicians.
such a great spirit. It's easy, talent, spirit. You're great, and your songs. I love all your songs. But like
Thank you.
Worthy is like I keep coming back to Worthy. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm not a superwoman.
Yeah.
What a beautiful line. Especially, did you put a lot of pressure on yourself? Is where I think I'm going because
Yeah.
I think you're making big moves, and that's you're gonna grow a lot and you're gonna kick butt. But is part of it almost like, do you sometimes, and as a woman sometimes in a
Yeah.
male industry like there's more males and all that. Do you sometimes have to just be like chill out, like gotta
Yep.
breathe? It's a marathon, not a sprint kind of thing.
Yeah, I 100% agree with what you just said,
Yeah.
that it's a marathon. And one of my favorite lyrics stems from Brandi Carlile. She has a lyric that pretty much is like, the road, I can't remember it from word off the top of my head right now, but it's basically like the road is as far, like the road is as long as it is cracked.
Right.
I think that's what it is. And pretty much like it's definitely, it's a long road, and the pressure is there. Like, I do put a lot of pressure on myself. I do have high expectations, so when I don't really meet those expectations, sometimes I'm like, oh, like I could have done better. Like, I should have did this, should have did that. But then at the end of the day, like, you know, everybody could have done something that they didn't do, and you learn from all of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Worthy was pretty much like, I wrote that that was a difficult time in my life. My grandmother, she was ill at the time.
Yeah.
And I was going through like a couple personal things.
Sure.
Where I was just like, okay, like I need to reevaluate like who I am in a sense. Like, you know, like I need to regain like my own strength rather than like put all of my eggs in one basket on someone else or something, like in a relationship or whatever.
Okay, yeah, relationships, yeah.
Yeah, so this song pretty much stemmed from that, like being like, okay, like you don't need anyone else's approval to do things or do something that you want to accomplish.
Right.
And at that point in my life, I was relying on someone else to like, you know, make me feel better about what I'm doing. And
sure.
I was expecting to receive like that joy and pride in return, but I wasn't.
Right.
So it got to a point where I was just like, what am I doing?
Right.
Like I need to like get this from my own self and like feel
totally,
you know, strong in like my own being.
And you got it.
Than someone else.
That's fucking great. I love that. That's what life's about. You know, growth is messy, Sahara.
Yes.
Whether
definitely.
it's a butterfly, a baby, whatever, it's messy. That's how you grow.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's unbelievable. You're being so good with your time, and thank you for coming. And I know you're going to take us away with a song. Really excited about it. But I just want to commend you, Sahara, because you have the talent. Like you got the talent which you need here, and everyone knows it.
Thank you.
But you have such a great heart, and everyone is falling in love with you in the city. just everywhere, like, you know, people that have met you, mutual friends, the community. Sahara Moon. It's a name that is becoming synonymous, and we're really excited to have you at this point in your career because we know where you're going. So
thank you so much for having me today.
Of course, Sahara. Thank you. What are you going to take us away with?
Yeah, I'm going to take you guys away with one of my most popular tunes on Spotify. This is Everything Will Be All Right. I hope that the state goes a little bit faster. I want to spend this evening with you. No doubt in my mind I've got my plan mastered. We can dance in the dark throughout the night. And baby, just say you want me. It's a simple equation for being in love. And honey, just say you love me, and everything will be alright. I've got your sweater on my back, with a scent of you I will never forget. Call me a rebel, I will see you tonight. We can discuss things as you look into my eyes. And baby, just say you want me. It's a simple equation for being in love. And honey, just say you love me, and everything will be alright. And baby, just say you want me. It's a simple equation for being in love. And honey, just say you love me, and everything will be alright. Yes, and everything, everything will be alright. Everything, oh, everything will be alright.
Yes, it will. Thank you so much, Sahara. That was amazing.
Thank you for having me today.
Absolutely.